New Year's Eve 2011 going into 2012, I woke up in the early hours of the morning with a really bad pain in my jaw that just went up through my head, so I had a couple of Panadols and went back to sleep. When I woke up, my bottom lip was numb, completely numb, couldn't feel it. So rang the doctors, the GP went down because mine was a 24-hour GP. So I went to the GP who said, no, look, it's a dental thing, it's probably just an ulcer developing under one of your teeth, so we'll just give you some antibiotics, make an appointment with your dentist. So I went to the dentist, who sent me to a periodontist, who sent me to an oral pathologist, who then said that, no, there's nothing dental, there's nothing wrong with you. I said, but I can't feel my lip, and I hadn't been able to for the entire month of January. So he sent me for an MRI on my jaw. So something that you don't need to hear when you're laying on an MRI machine, laying perfectly still through the headphones is, I'm sorry, there's no doctors available at this time. I'll come down when we finish this and I'll have a chat to you. So he goes, look, we found a large area above your right ear and we might call you back in for some further scans. Now I'm thinking, the only thing above my right ear is my brain. So then the Friday, the next day, my sister walks in with a scan bag because the place where I'd been scanned was actually her boss's was part owner of it. Turns out that so I just looked at her and said, oh God, I have got a brain tumour, haven't I? And she went, no, you've got two and a nodule. So her boss who's a cardiologist, had sent a referral to Gabriel Lee and I had an appointment the next week. Turned out that I didn't have two tumours, I had three and a nodule. The largest one was 5 centimetres by 4 by 4. And then there was two more. So they then sent me for further testing. Basically he said that it was serious and semi-urgent, so no one knows what that means, so I question, what does that mean? It means you need to have surgery to remove the largest tumour within the next 2 to 3 weeks. I said, oh, okay, and if I don't, if I choose not to, he went, then you will die. He's like, now I'm a brain doctor, but according to your scans, you have got breast tumour 8 centimetres by 8 centimetres in your right boob. And then he goes, where do you hide that in there? Because I have very small boobs. And I went, oh gosh. And he goes, I need to send you for a bone scan because there's bone engagement as well. So the next week I went for the bone scan, came back to find that I had bone metastases in my jaw, the base of my skull, all through my spine, my sternum, my ribs, my shoulders, my pelvis, my hips, and the long bones in my arms and legs. So basically below the knees and below the elbows, I'm good. When they removed the brain tumour, it was tested and came back as being a breast cancer metastasis, and the breast cancer decided that it wasn't happy that the large tumour had been removed, so it developed a hematoma in the top of my chest, which then I had to start chemo instead of brain radiation. So I started that. And a couple of weeks after that, it busted open. So then I had to start radiation to control the bleeding because they surgically couldn't do anything. So I've had no breast surgery. They've just shrunk it with radiation. And then they did brain radiation. So yeah, lost my hair after the first lot of chemo, but then didn't have any more chemo. Then when they did brain radiation, my hair got fried again. It was overwhelming. It was scary, but at the same time, a lot of my family and friends have had cancer, so you know how it works. And fortunately, I took my sister to all of my appointments. That way she would ask questions that I wouldn't have thought of. Like I'd driven to the neurosurgeon's appointment, and then it was only her as a cardiac transplant nurse that said, so she shouldn't be driving then, should she? But I didn't have any symptoms of a brain tumour, but I had 3 in my head, and I was a ticking time bomb. So no, I didn't get to drive for 10 months. So that was difficult because I had to suck up my pride and actually ring people and say, hi, can you take me to my radiation today? Because every day of the week I had an appointment. And then there was, you couldn't drive the car just around the corner to get some food. You had to get someone to, drive you to, because I live alone, so I had to get someone to take me everywhere. And that was really hard because some people weren't up for the job and some people were. Yeah, so it was interesting how things panned out. It's hard because when you look around at those other people, they were feeling really sick, but I wasn't feeling really sick. I had some pain, like when this volcano erupted, and I'm talking it was like the size of a golf ball growing on the outside that just burst like a volcano, and it had to be packed every day. It hurt like nothing else. You'd have to have painkillers to actually have them stuff the stuff in, But looking back now, I go, wow, I was so lucky compared to a lot of those other people that were, so, and like Mum was so nauseous with the treatments. I wasn't. I was fortunate that, you know, and I'm a fast healer, so the surgery from the brain, tumour removal, can't even see that it was there. You don't even know that it was there.
With all of the warmth in your hearts, as you can appreciate the situation, would you welcome Miss Sue O'Byrne, who will share her journey with us. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Sue, and I would like to share my cancer adventure with you. It's definitely made me stronger, more compassionate, more understanding, more tolerant, more patient, because you spend a lot of time in waiting rooms when you've got the cancer. So, yeah, but it's just, yeah, I think so. I think it's actually made me stronger, definitely. Thanks. Thank you.